It just kind of came to me, and it's so prevalent now. I'm thinking about it a lot, as I think a lot of the media is talking about Ozempic and this, these are GLP-1 agonist drugs. So they manipulate hunger in a pretty profound way. As a dietitian and somebody that is trying to really help people heal, do you think this is helpful? Is it harmful? Is it a yes, no, it depends maybe kind of thing? Is it frustrating for you?
Oh, we could go on a whole hour about Ozempic and semaglutide drugs. I just did a podcast on my show last week called The Will to Eat, The Will to Live. And the whole concept of this episode, I've done many on Ozempic specifically, but the whole concept of this episode, which I'm most recently passionate about, is the idea that when we are weekly injecting ourselves with a weight loss drug that not only suppresses appetite cyclically, like GLP-1 is a natural peptide, but it doesn't stay suppressed in the human body. It is a cyclical peptide that responds to substance, to food, is how the body was designed to work. So when we take this exogenously outside from the body and we inject it into ourselves and it chronically maintains the GLP-1 levels to be elevated, that can create some serious issues of nausea, of digestive discomfort. I have friends that are anesthesiologists that the entire anesthesiology practicum has changed as a guideline because of the amount of people on GLP-1 drugs. Because guess what? When they're putting people under for surgery, they still have food particles that they're worried about aspirating. And they've really been NPO down, for 24. Right? Yeah, they're still NPO, meaning nothing per oral. So they're not eating for 24 hours following their surgical guidelines, right? But that's not enough anymore with GLP-1s. So the slow gastric emptying and that chronic nausea talk about setting up for SIBO and gastric dysfunction. And what's just wild about it to me, I mean, we could go in all the side effects, et cetera, the loss of muscle, which ultimately hinders metabolism, the fact that everyone gets malnourished on it.
Ozempic face.
They're not eating enough protein. But what's wild to me about it is I have witnessed people in public talking, when I'm dining out, I'm like sometimes perusing. And this husband and wife were at the table for like an hour and a half. I was doing a work meeting. And the husband cheers her on. He goes, "Hey, honey, last week you were only able to get in 4 French fries. I see you ate half of them." It's like, good job. You forced through that suppression and you pushed through to eat those French fries. And then guess what's going to happen in a month from then when she tells her doctor that her weight loss stalled? He's going to increase the milligrams of the medication. And then she's going to struggle with hating food again and then work her way into those same bad habits and increase the medication again. And that's how that goes, right? Yeah. Insane.
It's crazy, as you was mentioning, because I was just doing a bit of research myself recently, and I think the effect of native naturally produced GLP can literally be minutes in the body, and the injectable semaglutides the half-life's about a week. It's crazy. From one injection, the effects of long lasting, it's like 90 something hours. So it's just completely unnatural. And the slowdown of the gastric emptying is really interesting, especially as you mentioned the gut health stuff. You're essentially putrefying food. And it's now taking twice as long, 3 times as long to move through. And I know you think a lot about lymph and elimination, and those things are really, really important. And I just worry that we could potentially solve the issue of somebody wanting to lose a lot of weight and achieving it that way. But what is the damage that we cause in the process? Like trashing hormones, trashing the thyroid, the intense loss of muscle mass.
And nutrients, bar none, micronutrient and macronutrient level. I mean, and caloric level. I mean, it's just, you're mimicking starvation.
Yeah, it's pretty shocking, right? It's so interesting. Like if we force a solution on a problem like the obesity epidemic, and we don't consider all the factors at play, we're just going to create new problems. And I think this might solve the obesity epidemic, maybe, but it's just going to cause a whole host of other problems. And now we're just going to have malnourished, weak, osteopenic, sarcopenic, and now then we're going to have another drug to combat that.
Right.
All because we're looking for an artificial solution to an artificial problem. We wouldn't even, if we just ate the way nature intended, we wouldn't even have this problem. And it's so crazy because I get it. That's not the world we live in and all of that stuff, but man, it's upside down.
Right. If you literally just eat God food and you literally make your own food, or at least shop at your farmer's market, buy from your ranchers and growers, shake the hand that produces the food, and have connection, relationship with your food. You don't even have to honestly worry about macros.
No, you don't.
Because I think that everyone, like you don't even need me. Literally, because you will just find that native state of that light ketosis, because it's damn near impossible to consume that many carbs because it's a lot of work. Yeah. Like making your own sourdough is a romantic process, right? And that romantic process allows time, intention, purposefulness. It's not a secondary thought or a numbing or something that you can overconsume. It's a lot more self-limiting based on the process itself. And I think that's why things are the way they are, right?
Yeah.
Michael Pollan talked about how, if everyone made their own French fries from scratch and had to purchase a deep fryer, they would eat a heck of a lot less French fries because it's messy.
Yeah.
It's a process.
100%. All right, friends, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Radical Health Radio. We got a fresh new podcast for you every Wednesday. If you enjoyed the show, consider liking, subscribing, reviewing, and rating us on your podcast platform. It helps to spread this message of radical health. We'll see you next week.